have a brand new statement from President Trump. He says that he is sending border czar Tom Homan down to Minneapolis.
President Trump says he's now sending border czar Tom Homan to Minnesota, and some Senate Democrats are vowing not to fund ICE, which could lead to a partial government shutdown.
The president announced this morning on social media and said that Tom Homan will be going out to Minnesota now.
The two men are now on a similar wavelength. What you are about to hear changes everything we thought we knew about the Minneapolis crisis. This morning, President Donald Trump made an announcement that stunned political observers on both sides. He is sending his border czar, Tom Homan, to take control of ICE operations in Minnesota. Homan will report directly to the president, not to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, not to Border Patrol Commander Bovino, directly to Trump. And then came the second shock. Trump said he spoke with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz this morning. The same Tim Walz he has attacked relentlessly for weeks. The same Tim Walz he blamed for the chaos in Minneapolis. Trump called it a very good call. He said they are now on a similar wavelength. 2 weeks of war, 2 American citizens dead. And suddenly, the two men at the center of this crisis are talking. What changed? If you want to understand what is really happening behind the scenes, hit like right now. Let me break down what we know. At 8:47 this morning, Central Time, Trump posted on Truth Social, "I am sending Tom Homan to Minnesota tonight. He has not been involved in that area, but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough, but fair, and will report directly to me." Read that again. He has not been involved in that area. That is a direct shot at the people who have been involved. Kristi Noem, Bovino, the entire DHS leadership team that has been running Operation Metro Surge. Here's the thing, when a president sends someone new to take over and says they will report directly to me, that means the current leadership has lost his confidence. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt confirmed that Homan will be managing ICE operations on the ground in Minnesota, not advising, not coordinating, managing. Kristi Noem responded on social media, calling it good news for peace, safety, and accountability in Minneapolis. But make no mistake, this is not a promotion. This is damage control. So what went wrong? Let me take you back 72 hours. On Saturday morning, Border Patrol agents shot and killed Alex Pretti, a 37-year-old ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital. He was a United States citizen. He was a legal gun owner with a permit to carry. Video shows federal agents removing a weapon from Pretti before another agent opened fire. Within hours, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem called Pretti a domestic terrorist. Border Patrol Commander Bovino suggested Pretti may have been planning to massacre law enforcement. There was one problem. The video contradicted their story. Multiple angles showed Pretti holding up his phone, not threatening anyone. The video showed agents taking his gun away, then shooting him anyway. And the backlash was immediate. Not just from Democrats, from gun rights groups, from conservatives, from people who watched the video and could not reconcile what they saw with what DHS was saying. Fox News reported on Sunday that senior officials involved in immigration enforcement have grown increasingly uneasy and frustrated with some of the claims and narratives DHS pushed following the shooting. Let that sink in. Fox News, reporting that Trump's own officials were uncomfortable with Noem's handling of this. The Wall Street Journal asked Trump directly on Sunday if he believed shooting Pretti was the right thing to do. He did not answer. When Donald Trump refuses to defend a decision made by his own administration, that tells you everything you need to know. On Sunday morning, Fox and Friends host Brian Kilmeade said something remarkable on air. "I get the sense that the president, if you look at his comments in the Wall Street Journal, I think he wants to take a look at this thing. I get the sense he wants to de-escalate. I would hope that maybe a fresh set of eyes, Tom Homan going in there taking control of this, letting some of the 3,000 move on to other cities." Hours later, Trump made the announcement, Homan is in. The old leadership is out, at least in Minnesota. If you think this story matters, make sure to subscribe right now. But the surprises did not stop there. Shortly after announcing Homan's deployment, Trump posted again, "Governor Tim Walz called me with the request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we, actually, seem to be on a similar wavelength. I told Governor Walz that I would have Tom Homan call him, and that what we are looking for are any and all criminals that they have in their possession." Think about what just happened. For weeks, Trump has called Walz a failure. He threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act against Minnesota. His Justice Department served grand jury subpoenas to Walz, Ellison, and Frey, investigating whether their public statements obstructed federal law enforcement. Their words, not their actions, their words. And now, a very good call. A similar wavelength. A promise to have Homan call the governor. This is not how Trump operates. He does not back down. He does not make peace with enemies, unless something forced his hand. So what forced his hand? I have a theory. Look at the numbers. 2 American citizens killed in 3 weeks, both captured on video, both contradicting the federal government's account. 50,000 people marching in negative 20-degree weather, over 100 clergy arrested at the airport, more than 60 CEOs demanding de-escalation, businesses closing, schools in lockdown, an entire city paralyzed, and Trump's poll numbers on immigration have been dropping. The New York Times and Siena poll showed his approval rating declining. The Minneapolis operation was supposed to show strength. Instead, it showed chaos. Dead Americans, viral videos, protests that would not stop, and Kristi Noem, the face of the operation, making claims that videos immediately disproved. Trump needed a reset. Homan is that reset. But will it work? That is the question everyone is asking. Tom Homan is a veteran of immigration enforcement. He served as acting ICE director under Trump's first term. He is known as a hardliner, but also as someone who understands optics. The question is whether his arrival signals a genuine de-escalation or just a change in messaging. Minneapolis City Council member Soren Stevenson, whose district includes Pretti's neighborhood, is not convinced. This is another escalation, he said. The only way to bring safety and peace back to our city is for ICE to get out right now. Meanwhile, the legal battle continues. This morning, a federal judge began hearing arguments on Minnesota's lawsuit to end Operation Metro Surge. Attorney General Keith Ellison is asking for a preliminary injunction that would force federal agents to reduce their numbers. The Justice Department calls the lawsuit legally frivolous. 19 states, plus the District of Columbia, have filed briefs supporting Minnesota. Whatever happens in that courtroom, the dynamics have already shifted. Noem and Bovino are sidelined. Homan is taking over. Trump and Walz are talking. And 3,000 federal agents are still on the streets of Minneapolis, waiting to see what comes next. Does this mean the crisis is over? No. Does it mean fewer agents? We do not know yet. Does it mean no more shootings? Nobody can promise that. But something changed today. The president, who never backs down, just sent his most trusted enforcer to clean up a mess. The governor, who was under investigation, just got a friendly phone call. And the woman who called a dead nurse a terrorist just lost control of the operation. That is not nothing. Let me give you some context on why this matters beyond Minneapolis. This is the first time during Operation Metro Surge that Trump has intervened directly. For weeks, he let Noem and Bovino run the show. He defended their decisions. He amplified their claims. He threatened to send the military. Now he is sending his own man to take over. And he is talking to the governor he was trying to destroy. This suggests one of two things. Either Trump genuinely wants to de-escalate because the political cost has become too high, or he is repositioning before things get even worse. The court hearing this morning could change everything. If Judge Kathleen Menendez grants the preliminary injunction, federal agents could be ordered to reduce their presence. That would give Trump cover to pull back without admitting defeat. If she denies it, the operation continues, but now under Homan's control instead of Noem's. Either way, the next 48 hours will determine the future of this crisis. There is also the question of accountability. 2 American citizens are dead. Renee Good, shot on January 7th. Alex Pretti, shot on January 24th. Both were killed by federal agents. Both deaths were captured on video. Both times, the federal government made claims that videos appeared to contradict. Will anyone be held responsible? The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is investigating both shootings, but federal agents initially blocked state investigators from the scene after Pretti's death. That is why Ellison filed an emergency motion to preserve evidence. That is why Judge Eric Tostrud, a Trump appointee, granted a restraining order preventing the destruction of evidence. Even a Trump-appointed judge saw the need to protect the investigation from federal interference. And then there is the broader political picture. Trump's immigration crackdown was supposed to be a show of strength. Minneapolis was chosen deliberately, a blue city in a blue state, the home state of Tim Walz, Kamala Harris's running mate. The message was clear. We can do this anywhere. We will not be stopped. Instead, Minneapolis became a symbol of resistance. Tens of thousands marching in sub-zero temperatures, businesses closing in solidarity, clergy being arrested while singing hymns, videos going viral showing federal agents shooting unarmed citizens. The operation that was supposed to intimidate became an operation that galvanized opposition. And now, Trump is sending in a fixer. Here is what I think we should watch for in the coming days. First, watch what Homan actually does when he arrives. Does he reduce the number of agents? Does he change the tactics? Does he hold press conferences with a different tone than Noem and Bovino? Second, watch the court ruling. If Menendez grants even a partial injunction, it could force changes regardless of what Homan wants. Third, watch Trump's social media. If he continues attacking Walz and Minnesota Democrats, the good call was just theater. If he stays quiet, something real may be happening. 4th, watch the protests. Will Homan's arrival calm things down or inflame them further? The community has been through a lot. Trust in federal agents is at 0. A new face may not be enough. And 5th, watch Kristi Noem. She says this is good news, but her career was built on being tough on immigration. Minneapolis was supposed to be her moment. Now she has been publicly sidelined. How she responds in the coming days will tell us a lot about the internal politics of this administration. What do you think is really happening? Tell me in the comments below. All information in this video comes from official White House statements, Truth Social posts, Fox News, CNBC, NPR News, Associated Press, ABC News, and verified court filings. I will keep following this story and bring you updates as they happen. If you want to stay informed on the Minneapolis crisis, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This is far from over. Stay informed. Stay sharp. See you next time.